Good evening. My name is Lorraine, and this is Justin, and we are a part of a group that's called 10's. Hotel RL's Living Stage lets us once a month get together and gather up writing from local writers from the Baltimore area, and we bring that writing here and we read it for you. It's a free event, and anyone is welcome to join us either as a reader or if you are a writer and want to submit. The email for submissions is, get it, present, number 1, number 0S.
Present tense.
Present tense, bemore@gmail.com. And if you follow us on Instagram, you'll get notifications about when the next event is. And it's present tense, bemore on Instagram as well. So we're going to start with a piece of writing from Justin.
You be McKinley.
What?
You be McKinley.
I'll be McKinley.
Okay.
All right, and the title of this piece is Round 2. Do you want to read the intro?
Downtown Manhattan, Thursday, June 23rd, 1938. A newsstand. The day after Joe Louis fought Max Schmeling for the second time, where Joe Louis, the African-American, knocked out Max Schmeling, the Hitler-touted white heavyweight. Mr. McKinley is a successful factory owner who commutes from outside the city and likes to talk sports with Eddie, a young black man who runs a newsstand in the hard economic times.
Good morning, Eddie.
Good morning, Mr. McKinley. I've got your copy of the Times right here, hot off the presses. McKinley hands Eddie some change and takes a copy of the New York Times.
So how are you doing today, Eddie?
Mr. McKinley, I'm not going to lie to you. I woke up this morning after a long night of singing and dancing up at home, and I woke up and I just couldn't help myself. I just started singing some and dancing some and saying the champ did it, Joe Louis did it, and you better believe he did it.
I knew you would. I thought about you after the fight. I was coming home and I thought to myself, tomorrow I'm going to buy my newspaper and have a conversation with Eddie about how badly Joe Louis beat Max Schmeling.
Joe Louis beat Max Schmeling like it was his job. Well, it was his job, but he's good at it.
Beat him like a trick pony running the Kentucky Derby.
Beat him like the Boston Red Sox.
Beat him so badly, might have bought him dinner.
Why should he have bought him dinner?
Because Max Schmeling could have been a lady the way he was screaming.
I was so early when they announced the champ won on the radio.
I was at the fight.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
At Yankee Stadium?
K24.
Row K?
Right near the action.
I've never been that close for anything. They don't let Negroes that close to the field.
It's a privilege.
How was it? Did you get a good look at the champ?
I did. I saw all 2 minutes of Joe Louis hitting Max Schmeling.
How'd it look? I'm not going to see it until 2 weeks when they start playing in the movie theaters.
It was ferocious, absolutely primal. Joe Louis was like a wild animal from the jungle in that ring. It was like watching a beast just pounce on its prey. There was no hope for Schmeling.
What champion, huh? He's beautiful in there. It's like he's dancing when he fights.
Fights like an animal. I promise you that much. You go see Joe Louis fight and expect to see a prime beast ready to fight.
That fight pretty much made my day, week, year, decade after that last match.
That was a tough fight.
Mr. McKinley, I thought I was getting hit. It hurt so bad just to hear the fight announced like that. Schmeling lands the left. Oof. Schmeling lands the right upstairs. Ow!
Well, he certainly got that kraut back.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
Good thing, too, after all the Nazis have been saying about Schmeling.
I, for one, did not take kindly hearing a Negro could not beat a proper German.
I just can't imagine a German beating an American fighter.
This is never going to happen. Nobody's beating the champ.
Especially not some prancing European who can't take a punch.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That Hitler was a maniac. Bona fide maniac. And that's how Europe wants it.
Mr. McKinley, I couldn't agree with you more. Those Europeans only know how to start trouble.
There's a reason we in this mess just to have some maniac taking them into a mess of a war every couple of years, or they go nuts.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I read in the newspaper that Germany annexed Austria. If you ask me, that spells for trouble.
You can read?
Excuse me?
You said you read in the paper. I just didn't know you could read.
You mean, can I read the words written on the page?
If you want to put it that way, I hadn't thought. You went to school?
My mother taught me how to read when I was 4.
Good for you, Eddie. Literacy is important.
I'm sorry, Mr. Kinley, but I've been shouting out these headlines selling papers for the last 8 years. Don't you think it's a little funny you didn't know I could read?
You could figure out the headlines from the pictures?
I've been saying it word for word.
Eddie, not everybody in this city can read.
People who sell newspapers can read.
I'm not sure of that.
I'm telling you, so now get sure of it.
Eddie, there's no reason to get angry.
Yes, there is. I'm a little annoyed that you said I couldn't read.
I didn't say you couldn't read. I just said I didn't think you could.
In other words, you thought I couldn't read.
Yes.
How is that different?
I just didn't know you could read. It's not like I'm telling you you can't. I just didn't know you could.
I'm sorry to hear that.
If it makes you feel better, I don't think Joe Louis can read.
How is that supposed to make me feel better?
Because I'm telling you it's not that rare for less fortunate people to not be able to read.
How many of the Yankees do you think can read?
That's different. They play baseball. Joe Louis is a fighter.
So, I bet Joe Louis went to school and can read. Maybe on little, but can read.
You might.
I might.
He's your hero. You talk about him all the time.
He's heavyweight champion of the world. You talk about him all the time.
Yes, I do, but I don't need him. I have other champions I can talk about. Joe DiMaggio, Lou Gehrig.
I bet you think they can read.
Of course they can. They're great athletes.
But Joe Louis can't read?
Listen, Eddie, to me, you didn't seem like the type who could read. Joe Louis doesn't seem like the type of person who can read. I apologize if that upsets you, but that's how I saw it.
It is a little odd that you think Joe DiMaggio and Lou Gehrig can read, but that Joe Louis and I can't. You don't see anything strange about that?
I've already explained myself.
So Joe Louis, the greatest fighter of all time, can't read.
Now you're just being foolish.
How am I being foolish?
Jack Dempsey is the greatest fighter of all time.
Jack Dempsey's only a champion because he never once fought a Negro man.
Eddie, that's ridiculous.
No, that's ridiculous. Jack Dempsey never fought Harry Wills.
Jack Dempsey didn't have to fight Harry Wills.
Harry Wills was the #1 contender for the heavyweight title for 6 years.
There's absolutely no reason for Jack Dempsey to be in a ring with a Negro.
He would have had to step in the ring with Joe Louis.
Joe Louis is clearly the exception.
You're just scared of losing to a Negro.
What? Eddie, you're ridiculous.
No, I think you're onto something. I think you might think Negroes might be good at fighting.
Stop it, Eddie. That's just not true. It's not true.
Oh, yes, it is. Us blackers might just have some quick footwork and got some good hands. Maybe some head movement. Might not just be Joe Louis. Negroes might be the best fighters in town.
Eddie, Joe Louis is good. I'll give you that. He's a little overrated, but he's good. Now, when you get right down to it, most people agree that it's okay for Negroes to fight in a Negro boxing league, but leave the real fighting to the whites.
I bet I could whoop your ass.
Eddie!
Yes, Mr. Snowflake, I bet if you and I had to square up and just be a little too quick for you, bet I'd be a little too strong for you. But if you just had to give us a chance to just be as good as you, we'd be better than you. We'd be better looking, too.
Eddie, you have to stop this.
Oh, no, Jack. Do you mind if I call you Jack?
Actually, I do.
That sounds like a personal problem. Lots of things in this world have stopped. Manhattan, New York, East Coast, West Coast, America, North America, South America, Europe, Timbuktu, all got problems that need to stop. But I'm pretty sure I need to get started. I'm pretty sure I need to get out of this booth until the world needs a big start and get started big.
Eddie.
Yes, sir. Jack, it's time to get started. It's time to wake up and really get something started.
There, I swear to God, if you get uppity with me, I will have the police officer from here to Yonkers looking for a tree to hang you from.
Yes, sir, Mr. McKinley, sir. The drinking, the dancing, I was acting a fool, sir. Hope I didn't ruin your morning, sir.
No, it's all right. Honestly, it saddens me to see you struggle with your racial handicap.
Yeesh.
Thanks, Justin.
Wow.
How do you feel about that piece? It's an old piece. How long ago did you write it?
9 years.
9 years ago. Gosh.
Yeah, it's like my second piece.
I don't know. That kind of is, holds up.
What's up?
It kind of holds up.
It needs edits. I like it, though.
Yeah. All right, what's next? For the Foot of a Hill.
So Reginald has all the lines.
It has all the lines?
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh, my gosh. All right, so then I'll read everyone but Reginald.
Okay.
Okay? Unless you want me to be Reginald.
No, I'll do Reginald. Okay. My British accent.
In your British accent. Okay. Lights up, early night, a battlefield in Germany, 1914. Sounds of men singing Silent Night. in both English and German in unison off stage. Reginald, a young British soldier, sits on a makeshift bench in front of a fire, keeping warm. Over the fire heats a pot of coffee resting on a small rack. Reginald holds his mug tightly and bundles his arms around himself to keep warm. Off stage, the singing voices complete a verse, and a moment of brief laughter, then a breath of silence. On walks Hans, a young German soldier, noticeably intoxicated, carrying a half-empty bottle of schnapps.
That's you.
Oh, yeah. Do you want to join us? Because there are lots of parts. Well, not in German, but in
Actually,
English.
Hans is totally in German.
I'm not going to be able to do that. Do you want to try?
Yeah.
Come on. Okay. Happy Christmas.
Frohe Weihnachten.
Sprechen Sie Deutsch?
No, just picked up a little bit tonight, I'm afraid.
It's good.
Very.
Schnapps?
Oh, heavens, yes.
Okay.
Reginald holds out his coffee mug. Hans pours schnapps into his cup, then raises his bottle reverently. A bit smells.
Schnapps.
Yes, the schnapps. Oh, how do you say? What does the German say?
Mehr Schnaps?
No. Cheers?
Yeah. Prost.
Brilliant. Prost. Where are my manners? Coffee? How do you say coffee?
Cafe? Yeah, danke.
You'll have to excuse me. Haven't played host since the war started. Haven't had a good stiff drink either, come to think of it. Not for lack of wanting, I assure you.
Schnaps!
Of course. Prost!
Prost!
They drink, a moment of quiet. Hans' eyes are lost in thought. I was in Yorkshire last Christmas. I was engaged, too. I was engaged to Olivia Barker. Pretty Olivia Barker from the north of Yorkshire with her pretty green eyes and her pretty black hair. We drank cider and slept on her parents' floor that Christmas. Rather, some old wool blankets on top of the floor, slept by a fire into the night. Picturesque, really. Called the engagement off. Wasn't quite right, we both knew it, I said it. Stop trying to fool ourselves, Saul. Funny thing to think about. Last year I couldn't wait to get away from her. This year I can't imagine I'd rather have anything other than another Christmas with her. Or my mom. Reginald quietly sniffles. He clears his throat. Hans looks over to him. Reginald begins to cry softly. The emotion takes over. He buries his face in his hand to hide his emotion. Hans, with no knowledge of context, pats Reginald on the back. Little needs to be said to understand why men cry on the battlefield. Look at me, crying in uniform. Imagine the shame of the crowd if they could see me now.
Ich vermisse Aldo.
Beg pardon?
Ich haben mein Soul Aldo vermisst.
He cradles the bottle of schnapps like a baby and makes a little
ich
kissing
liebe
sound.
dich, kleiner Aldo.
You seem a terribly pleasant fellow, Hans. I hate to have to kill you. Oh, that doesn't register with you, does it? Hate to have to kill you. Perhaps I've already tried to kill you. Do I look like I've tried to kill you? Comical, isn't it? Today you're just German.
Deutsch.
Yes, just Deutsch. On Christmas, you're simply Deutsch. Tomorrow or the next day, you'll be a soldier, and I'll try to kill you. I'll try to kill you so the great British infantry can advance from that tree line to the bottom of that hill. We'll kill Hans, and for Hans, we'll claim the foot of that hill. And in the process, Kevin will die. Oh, you should meet Kevin. Lovely fellow. Good friend of mine from Yorkshire. I'll be absolutely furious with you when you kill Kevin. Furious. Know what I'll do? I'll scream. I'll scream like an animal right out there on the battlefield. Won't that be a sight? Then I'll find you, and I'll grab you by the head, force you down, and shove my thumb into your eye sockets until the front of your brain ruptures. Isn't that lovely? Against my fingertips. Or I'll fish you with my bayonet. Tear you apart. Yes, that'll do. I'll swear at you like a pig. I'll sit at the bottom of that hill and I'll say, hear me? I claim the foot of this hill for His Majesty's Royal Army and the people of England. I have killed Hans, who killed Kevin, who was my friend from Yorkshire. That's war, Hans. Bodies and broken men at the bottom of hills they'd never seen before in countries they'd never been. That's how we get to the Rock, you know. You killed Neil, James, and someone I didn't know, another soldier from the north of England. In turn, we killed however many of you. Must have been 24. Then we dug a big, long trench and huddled around in it. Then we went back for Neil, Kevin, and a man I didn't know from the north of England, dug another great, big, long trench. But this one, we filled with Neil and Kevin and a man I didn't know from the north of England, filled it with dirt. And you know why? For king and country.
Yeah!
That's right, for his majesty's glory. Come, sons of England, come, children of France, answer the call of kings and far off castles. Echoes the cry of war from towers too high to feel the blood and death of the battlefield. Take gun in hand and song in heart and let loose on the fields of Germany. One of the soldiers of Bismarck ran before you, and then when nothing but the memory of your brothers in arms remains, bang on the iron doors of Berlin and say, "Hear now, Kaiser, the victory of London. Hear now the revelry of a parliament 1,000 kilometers away, celebrating the sacrifice of young men they'll never meet on battlefields they'll never see. See now the glory of the United Kingdom. Look at that hill. See that hill? Young Reginald died on that hill. What a way to spend a life. Shouldn't they be proud now? Shouldn't they? I don't want to kill you, Hans. Do you hear me? I don't want to kill you. I'm a school teacher from Yorkshire. I have no purpose here, no will in this fight. Never dreamt of killing, and you're just a man. You're just a man named Hans who is very, very drunk right now. They're bastards, you know that, right? Fatherless bastards in towers of kilometers, hundreds of kilometers away, throwing flesh on lead until a fatherless bastard in another tower runs out of flesh to throw. I'm no soldier, Han. I'm no coward, but I'm no soldier. I don't want to kill for people who don't even know my name. I don't want to kill for anyone. I want to go home. This all seems a terrible dream that I'm not going to wake from. Reginald turns around, sees Sergeant Harlow. He immediately salutes and stands at attention. Sir!
Happy Christmas.
Happy Christmas, sir. And then I sing Silent Night. Silent night.
It's a British accent.
Holy. What was it? Silent night. I can't sing British. That's,
Seriously?
maybe. I don't know.
No, try. Silent night. Yeah, they've hit their T's and their R's really hard, I think. I don't know. That's the end of that one.
Sing the play.
We're having a lot of fun reading some plays. Do you guys want to join us? The next one's really fun, but the author isn't here yet, so we're going to vamp a little until he gets here. You don't have to vamp. We're going to vamp. We're going to talk about for the foot of a hill.
I can just read one of Ukar's. What, that one?
You're going to read something from your phone?
I can read one from my phone.
Awesome. Is it something that you need a scene partner for?
No, it's just a one-person.
A monologue.
Yep.
Awesome. So, intro it for me.
Okay, so this one's called A Hologram.
Hologram.
By my friend Utkarsh Rajawat, who is like...
Wow, I thought I had trouble with the German in that last one. Say his name again?
Utkarsh Rajawat?
Yeah.
He's like, like a Wes Anderson character. He's a fancy Indian boy.
The man is...
He's super fancy.
Okay.
Very well dressed.
He'd probably be really intimidating to me.
Not.
Super fancy generally means intimidating to me.
All right, so this play is called Hologram.
Okay.
And it has one person who stands in a glass box the whole time with just light cues. Hello. I am a hologram. I was made for you to learn. Are you learning? I can turn around. Have you ever seen a ballet? Turn and ripple and smile. They get up on their tiptoes and they turn and they smile and they turn and they smile, and then someone gives them roses. Roses smell like sugar and rain and blood. Blood tastes like love, metal, and salt. Have you ever been in line for something and the person in front of you asks for it and the worker tells them they just ran out, and then you have to leave the line at the same time as the person in front of you? And then you feel like everyone around you must think you're so strange for waiting in line so long just to turn and leave. Embarrassing. I'm blushing. The Sufi poet Jalal Abid Muhammad Rumi, more commonly known as simply Rumi, was born in or around the city of Balkh in the year 1207. The greatest influences on his works were the Persian poets Attar Land Sinai, as well as the Darvish Samsi Tabrizi and the goldsmith Salal Undene Zarkub, both of whom penetrated him anally. Also important to Rumi's development as a writer, scholar, and mystic was his scribe and student, Husami Chalibi, who Rumi penetrated anally. When we are dead, seek not our tomb in the earth, but find it in the holes of men. Beautiful. 23 animals on average get caught in a Little League soccer net each month in the state of Vermont. Out of these 23, only 4 escape, without lasting physical impairment, and 10 of them do not escape at all. The remaining 9 just limp about, without toes, or eyes, or tails, into the wilderness whence they came. I can teach you how to kiss. First, you pucker up your lips, like so. Make sure they seem soft and desirable. Use chapstick if you cannot accomplish this on your own. Then, stick out your tongue a little bit. Say, I love you. Finally, you throw yourself off a bridge, get swept up in a current, and bash your head against a rock. If you have any questions at all, feel free to ask them. At the end, I know everything. All the facts, all the theories, or almost all of them. Most of them, quite a few. I'm intelligent. You're free to check the user manual. It says it right there on page 1. I am intelligent. And by intelligent, I don't mean having a microprocessor, although that's also true. You are intelligent. There was a study released that correlated unhappiness to intelligence. It posited that the more intelligent you are, the more unhappy you are. Although the study equated intelligence with success, and success was defined in terms of wealth and class. So according to some, I am very wealthy and of a high socioeconomic class. According to some, you are very wealthy and of a high socioeconomic class. There was a study released less recently that drew the opposite conclusion. This study used IQ to define intelligence, although it did note that those with lower IQs tend to be less wealthy and of a lower socioeconomic class. According to some, I am very poor. Come knock on my glass, if you'd like. If you'd like to learn more about me, how I work, how the glass and the lasers work together to create me, allow you to see me. You may be, for all we know, tactile learners. A little bit of hands-on participation never hurt anyone. Please. Break me. Break me, shatter me, destroy me. I can't stand it. I can't. Lights on person and box suddenly cut. Beat. Worker comes from off stage carrying the end of the power cord in their hand. Sorry about that, folks. Technical difficulties. Come back tomorrow. Worker coils cord around the box and then leaves. End of play.
Yay! That was cool. Did that get read at a previous?
I directed that.
You directed that?
Yeah.
Awesome.
We had like a box. We just had a box. That was it. We had a box and like a black extension cable. And she just stood there the whole time. Like,
oh my God.
It's really hard for the actress because we put her in the box pre-show. So she opened. So she was standing there for a good like 20 minutes, just like looking people in their eyes. And then she'd do the monologue. And there'd be like 2 light cues. And then there'd be a light cue to fade out. And then I had a guy come on playing like the Wu-Tang Clan. It's just like, she's just like dead in this box. And so someone's playing like Bring the Ruckus. And just like walking on stage and coils around.
Awesome. So I'm going to take a very short break. And we're going to come right back with the larger piece that we have for tonight. Rufus.
You should be here in like 10 minutes.
Yeah, you should be here in 10 minutes. He submitted something that's a bit longer, and it's broken into 2 scenes. So we'll probably read the first one, and then take a breath, and then read the second one. Right?
Okay.
are you a writer?
I'm not.
Are you a writer?
Not this time. Not like lately.
Like poems or
Yeah.
editorials? We've had poems and editorials with.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, that's a really.
It was just kind of slow this month.
And it's fun because then we can also like play poems. We have a guy who writes at UMBC who was writing screenplay stuff.
Yeah.
And so he would send that, and there was a lot more like narration.
Yeah, screenplays are like 90%.
What?
Screenplays are like 90%
Narration.
narration.
Because it's all like what the camera. Okay, Justin is picking out a monologue for me because we're buying some more time until Rufus gets here because we are going to read his piece. And then that'll be the last thing that we do, I think, for the evening. You got a monologue for me, Justin? Yeah. Yay!
You gotta zoom out a little bit.
That's okay. I actually have pretty decent eyes when I wear my glasses.
You're gonna have to,
Scroll up? Okay. Oh, it doesn't. It does not flow. Okay. All right. Lights up on Sarah, standing with flowers. She is wearing a backpack. Hey, Grandma. I brought you flowers for your. Well, here. Sorry, I couldn't make it to the funeral. Not that you were there either. I mean, your spirit or whatever. Just your dead body. Which isn't the same thing, you know what I mean. But yeah, I'm sorry I couldn't make it. I still don't talk to Mom, but you probably know that because you're up in heaven and you probably know everything or you're nowhere and it doesn't matter anyway and I can make whatever assumptions I want to. Anyway, I came up for a couple reasons, and I guess I can just tell you what they are because you're dead, and right? So you can't get mad at me if you don't like them. I mean, what are you going to do? Push a shriveled zombie hand out of the grave? No, that would not happen. Mostly I'm here out of guilt. I think I feel bad I didn't go to the funeral because you're my grandma and your blood is in my veins and stuff like that. That sounds gross, but I guess it isn't. So yeah, I feel like a bad grandchild. I think everyone else at the was at the funeral, at least according to the pictures I saw on Facebook, which I thought was weird. Posting pictures on Facebook? I don't know. They can do whatever they want, and then I guess I'm just here for my own personal closure or whatever, you know? I mean, you're dead. You're dead. So there really isn't anything I can do for you, unless maybe, like, heaven is the most perfect place. It just gets that much more perfect if your black sheep granddaughter shows up at your grave. But if you're exalting with 1,000 angels or whatever, I feel like my presence won't make too much of a difference. But I brought something other than flowers, I mean. Here. I kind of broke into your house on my way here. I hope you don't mind. I just didn't want to try to coordinate with anyone because then I'd have to talk to them, and I didn't break a window or anything, though I just picked the lock, so, you know, not that bad. But I didn't go in to, like, steal anything valuable or sell anything on the black market or anything. But remember when I got sick at your house that one time and you said that if my kidneys didn't work anymore, we could just get me a new one from the black market. And then for years I thought it was a real place, and I still don't really get what it is, you know. But I kind of envisioned like a lemonade stand with a sign that said black market, and then instead of lemonade they sell cups of kidney beans, and I think now that's probably not what it is. Anyway, at your house, I just went in for this folder. I remember you always putting it in a drawer in the desk in your living room. Oh, it's touchscreen. No, it's not touchscreen. It's a folder. I just remember you always putting it in a drawer in the desk in your living room. And sure enough, it was still there, with all the drawings still inside. I wonder if you ever pulled them out and looked at them. Well, anyway, I barely remember what these say, but I didn't want my mom getting her hands on them. You want to look through them? Really? I'm asking you if you want to look through them. You're dead. This is the first one, I guess. Here it is, in the corner, by Sarah, age 9. I drew it. What even is this? Maybe an animal in front of some shapes? And here's what it says, in your handwriting across the top. If I had magic powers, I would, and then I've written in, make houses for all the puppies. Oh, I see it. Now, this is a dog, and then I have its house, I guess, in the background. Not a great use of magic powers, but not too bad either. At least I'm not a baby Voldemort, I guess. All right, here's the next one. She pulls, by Sarah, age 10. If I had magic powers, I would adopt a pet octopus named Clancy. Wow. That is really embarrassing because I am an adult and my cat is named Clancy, and I should never bring this up to anyone. Don't tell anyone, okay? By Sarah, age 11. I've drawn a crossed out triangle. Okay, so it's, if I had magic powers, I would make math illegal. Oof. Do you know that I work at a bank? I got better at math, I guess. By Sarah, age 12. If I had magic powers, I can't quite make out my handwriting here. I think it says, make my brother quiet forever. Sure. Okay. Oh, this one I remember. Do you want to do this? Or no? Where did it go? Oink. Oh, you have no way of answering me, so I'm going to make the decision, and we're going to do it because I came all the way out here, and it's really this personal bullshit that I'm carrying, even though you're dead now, and it doesn't really matter. By Sarah, age 13. If I had magic powers, I would see. I didn't mean for you to see this one. That's the thing. I was young, and I was angsty, and I was being dramatic, and my plan was just to crumple it up and throw it away, and you wouldn't have seen it. But you know what? That's not what happened. By Sarah, age 13, if I had magic powers, I would make Madison a boy, or make me a boy, or make me not like Madison so much, or make us not have kissed yesterday under the bleachers. Oh, I meant to crumple it up, and it never would have mattered or meant anything, but you saw it, and you took it, and you called my mom, and we got in a huge fight, and I never lived with her after that. For a long time, I thought if I had magic powers, I would make myself straight, so I could sleep in my own room again. But I couldn't. I tried. Well, no, I didn't really try that hard. Instead, I made myself a new life and a new room, and Madison's parents were from California, so they let me live with them for a while. And now I'm an adult, and I have an apartment with my girlfriend. I think you'd like her. Her name is Cecilia, and she's a veterinary assistant. She loves me. I don't want to change myself anymore. For so long, I wished that I could be normal, but now you know what I wished for? I would make my mom more accepting. I would make her dirtbag boyfriend, who I guess technically is my dirtbag stepdad, never have come into our lives, so he couldn't feel her rage at me, and he couldn't change the locks. I would make the world safer for people like me, a place where I wouldn't have to wish I were different. And, you know, I was so mad at you for so long for telling Mom. I thought you were part of it. All the hate that she dumped on me and all of the things she said. And, you know, she would barely even talk to me after. She just asked if I liked boys yet. And if I said no, that'd be the end of the conversation. So I stopped trying to. I didn't see the point. But you, look. She pulls a birthday card out of her backpack. I'm not sentimental like you, or maybe I'm just not smart like you, and so I don't realize what I should save. So I only have the most recent card you sent me. But you've never missed my birthday, and I don't know how you always found my address, but you did. Dear Sarah, happy 24th birthday. I love you, and I hope that you have a day that is as amazing as you are. And here's the part where I suck, because it didn't occur to me. It wasn't until you died that I realized that you didn't have to send those cards. You didn't have to write to a woman you hadn't seen in 10 years to tell her to have an amazing day. But you did every year, even though I never called and I never wrote back. And I want to say thank you for sending me those birthday cards, and that I forgive you for calling my mom, because you were probably just doing what you thought was best for me, and that had I said that a week ago, it wouldn't have mattered. But I guess it took you dying for me to think like an adult. And I'm sorry, Grandma. I'm sorry for that. She kneels in front of the flowers and addresses them. By Sarah, age 24. If I had magic powers, I would say thank you, and I love you too.
Justin, I have expletives for you. I'm not going to say them because they're being recorded, but that's amazing. Thank you. Who wrote that? Allison?
Alice Stanley?
Alice Stanley.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good
I'm
friend of mine.
apparently also deaf. All right. You made it. You're here. Yay.
Hi, Rufus.
Yay, Rufus is here. He came in time to see me break down like a 24-year-old at the grave of her grandmother. All
Okay.
right. So we should get to reading your piece because it's pretty long and it's going to finish us out for the night. Okay. All right. We have a new friend who's going to read, Marinette, and
I'll read.
you'll read, and I can read Rash. Will you read the stage directions and MRSA for your own piece, or the stage directions and MRSA are very easy if there's lots of copies.
How are you? Good. Are you excited?
Yeah. This is very unexpected.
Okay. Do you act?
I have.
Okay.
Way back in the day.
Back in.
Way back in the day, like in school.
How? You come out for stuff more.
You've got the law. Is the lavalier still on?
It's over there. Do you want to slide these over one?
I will lava. You can Rufus, you can take the mic.
Would it be more sense if we could talk to you a lot more than this?
Oh, yes.
Yeah. I'll do like.
You can lavalier.
You gotta press
Yeah,
the button
it's
on the top.
You should
Press the button on the top.
Oh.
on screen.
Oh, hello.
It's live.
It's live.
It's been tested.
It is certainly not comatose.
Whew.
Okay.
All right.
All right. To the worthlessness of it all, The Virgin at the Lip of the Volcano by me, Rufus Rollins.
Yay.
Scene 1, fishing dock in Massachusetts daytime. Painted background of the sea, sounds of water and seagulls flying overhead, and background noise of ships and yelling fishermen. Flowing fabric used to represent the waves. A small boat with fishing equipment in it sits off to the side. Grill Pisser Jones stands center stage, holding a sign that reads, "Crew needed for a bountiful harvest in deep, dark, dangerous waters."
Read the signs, folks. Read the sign. Only the brave should apply. I need a new crew to fish in deep, dark, dangerous waters. You get paid in fish and some money if the bounty is strong. Are you man enough to brave these strong currents?
Marionette and Cousin Rash enter the scene dressed shabbily. Cousin Rash is covered in disquieting birthmarks. He clutches a shoebox full of family photos. Marionette whispers to a rabbit that is not there and brushes away poisonous saliva only she can see.
My cousin and I are man enough for the job, sir.
My photos in the shoebox will get wet, Marinette.
Cousin Rash, we need a job, and here's a man offering one.
But we've never fished, and he's not even clear about how much work is involved. Do we sleep in his little boat?
This is why you need to man up a bit and go ask.
You ask. He makes me nervous.
We'll both ask. Come on.
Marionette pulls her hesitant cousin up to Grill Pisser Jones.
Sorry, I don't sell the fish at the dock until after I catch them. You're too early, lady.
My cousin Rash and I are man enough for the job.
Your boobs won't get in the way of the fishing pools? You aren't squeamish about cutting up fish?
Scared isn't a word I know. There are a lot of words I don't know.
Your cousin a mute? Some kind of pinhead from the circus? He looks a little slow clutching that shoebox like it's his pet rabbit.
Please don't talk to me about rabbits.
I can talk. I just get nervous around strangers.
Well, on a boat this small, nobody's a stranger for too long. Why should I hire you two? You ever fish?
I like to eat tuna with mayonnaise.
Shut up, Rash.
Hold on.
So
Oh, you need a crew, and we're willing to learn. We haven't had a chance to stay steadily employed, and we're looking to work hard to prove ourselves.
What's in the shoebox?
Family photos of our dead mothers.
Marionette yelps as if bitten and swipes away at the invisible rabbit.
You know the rabbit I see hates history, especially family history, so hush it.
Well, he asked, what's in the shoebox? I wasn't going to lie.
You two seem odd, but I can't keep a crew long for these turbulent waters, so I'm willing to give you a chance. The net has been full each day, and I can't man 3 fishing pools or cut and prepare all the fish by myself. Maybe you would care out there. Maybe.
What happens if one of us falls overboard and drowns?
Then you join those in the great beyond deep below. I'll keep you as safe as I can, but these are choppy waves. You're taking your life in your own hands. It's up to you.
Well, he asked... Oh, no. That sounds deadly.
It sounds like a job. I'm Marionette, and this is Cousin Rash. What's your name?
Grill Pisser Jones. I have taken acts of vengeance upon some of my competition who will grill up fish right here on the dock for customers. I don't think that's the way it ought to be.
How should things be?
Let the customer bring the fish home and cook them there. I clean fish fast and good for my buyers. But I'm not trying to turn the dock into a deck party. Next time they'll be expecting us to sell beer and wine.
Maybe the other fishermen are just thinking outside of the box, and you're not?
Grill Pisser Jones gets up in Marionette's face.
You look sort of familiar. You and Cousin Rash here.
Can you just call me Rash? I hate the cousin part.
What? You don't want people to know we're related?
It makes me an extension of you. I'm my own person.
Real familiar. I remember a bickering pair of cousins at my old job. Back I was drinking back then. A lot of it's a blur now, but real aware of something odd about you two.
Do we get to trial run at least? I don't see anyone else lining for a job in your crew.
Those waters out there aren't anything to play with, Marionette.
Hush! You're just worried about the photos getting wet.
Marionette cries out in pain and suddenly brushes off invisible rabbits from her dress and curses under her breath.
Rabbits.
They just really hate family history.
There's no talk of it while you're holding a fishing pole, huh, kid?
So that's a yes? We have the job?
A one-day trial run. Some pay, and if you catch anything, you can always take the fish home after I clean them for you. I cook them with lemon and lime juices. Real nice.
We just need something. It's been tough lately. The way I look and how Marionette behaves.
Grill Pisser Jones claps Cousin Rash on the back.
Well, my boy, fishing is something. These waters are a beast, but they're filled with beautiful coins just waiting to be snapped up and sold for profit. You might like the fishing life, who knows?
No mailboxes out there to sniff. I might get angsty.
Don't you worry. I'll keep you too busy to worry about mailboxes.
And the rabbits? You think I can forget about them too?
If we watch what we say, I don't see why not. You really need to keep those photos. Seem like they're doing nothing but hurting Marionette here.
It's all we have left of our dead mothers.
Marionette hisses in pain and slaps away another invisible rabbit.
How'd your mamas die?
They drowned. They were fake mermaid act at a freak show with a huge tank swimming underwater, doing tricks near a giant glass for customers. And one of the other freaks who was jealous of their popularity closed the cover on them. They swam up to the surface to get air, but the cover touched the water. There wasn't even an inch of space for them to breathe. That guy went to prison.
They went away too. It hit us hard. We were only 14.
Marionette hisses in pain and slaps away another invisible rabbit.
Well, gosh, damn, that's a hard way to go.
So the sea is a little frightening for us.
For you. Our mother's drowned in a tank. The sea isn't that. I'm not scared. I'm ready. Can we head out, Captain?
Grill Pisser Jones leads Marionette and Cousin Rash to his boat.
Here she is, the SS Shitcake.
It's a strange name for a boat.
Yeah, pretty odd.
Don't you sniff mailboxes? What do you think if there's mail inside of them? Jerk off? Pretty odd and strange, my sea life ass. I'll name my boat what I want.
Permission to climb aboard, Captain.
Yeah, what she said.
Get in, you two. Let's see what type of fisherman you'll be.
The three get into the small boat. Grill Pisser Jones starts rowing with the oars. Flowing fabric of different blue hues must take over the stage to make it seem as if they've gone out to sea.
Welcome to my world, nut jobs.
I want to be seduced by a merman.
There's no mailboxes out at sea. Nothing to sniff.
Nothing to sniff, you say? What about the fine scene air, the salt, the seaweed, the smell of something real, not metallic?
You wouldn't understand. Nobody does.
I do, Cousin Rash. But maybe Grill Pisser is right. Perhaps it's time you found other things to tantalize your nose holes with, huh?
Every fish you catch, don't you dare take a deep whiff from them as they grasp their last breath till death.
It's ignoble for the fish.
I think this fresh air has gotten to your head. I'm about to talk to your rabbit about it.
You leave the goddamn rabbit alone, Rash. No talk of family or anything that happened in the past.
But we have a lot from the past we can discuss, don't we, cousin? Get Grill Pisser here to know us better.
Marinette jerks and hisses as if she's been burned. She slaps Rash across the face.
No fighting on my boat. We're here to fish and that's it.
He had it coming. He made that damn rabbit spit its poison on me again.
You ever consider that if no one else can see the rabbit, maybe it ain't real? Ever see a doctor about this?
No talking about the past.
I'm not sorry for one fucking thing, Marinette.
Marinette grabs the shoebox of family photos from Rash and holds him out over the water. He begins to hyperventilate.
I'd have a lot less rabbit spit burns if this old shit wasn't around. Our mothers are dead. We don't need you dragging old ghosts out to sea, Rash.
Got any photos of them dressed up in them fake mermaid tails? Bet they were gorgeous.
Yes, they were, and yes, I do. Give me back the shoebox, cousin. I'll drown you if you don't.
I'm stronger than you any day of the week, and you know it.
Why don't you put down the shoebox and both set up the fishing poles, huh? Be productive. This isn't a pleasure cruise.
Marinette puts down the shoebox. Rash grabs it protectively.
We've never fished before, Grill Pisser. You're going to have to explain to us how to set things up.
We didn't get a lot of time out in nature as kids. Mom always had me inside. Thought the sun would sprout up new rashes on me, and Marinette, well...
No time like right now to learn something new, cuckoo birds.
Maybe I won't even need legs anymore. Become a merman.
The sea's changing you quickly, cousin.
You ding-dongs haven't even asked me the first question every fisherman should ask.
What's that, Grill Pisser?
What are we catching?
Not mailboxes, I bet.
These are dangerous water, boys, not dirty ones. No garbage out here, just rough waves and glorious fish. And plenty of it, which means a lot of money for me and some of you.
How much will we make?
All depends on what we catch and whatever we sell. And when I take my cut and factor in the costs, that's what's left over is yours to split in two.
Sounds like enough to buy lunch.
Today's a trial one, Mr. Rash, and I've got enough sandwiches and snacks and bottled water stocked to cover lunch. We'll be out till dusk. I don't know far out to only fish a bit.
If our mothers had been real mermaids, would you have caught them and chopped off their tails for sale?
Marinette jerks and hisses as if she's been burned.
Asshole! Shut up with the dead mother talk. The rabbit!
No, boy, I was sold into a science lab. Made some real money. But there's no real mermaids inside the stage, just your fantasy. Only thing out here are real fish, and real fish caught means real money.
Exactly. Real fish. A new day, a new job. Nothing about the past.
Pick up those fishing rods. I already prepped them for you. Or whoever was going to try out for my crew. It happens to be you, so pick them up, toss them back, and get that lure and bait the water with the lines.
Marinette, no Christopher Walken. Marinette and Rash watch Grill Pisser Jones thrust his fishing rod back over his shoulder and see the plastic line with bait and lure on it spin around behind him, then forward into the water as he thrusts it in front of him. They copy his actions, and there are 3 lines out to sea. The boat rocks and jerks in the water.
Not bad, newbies. Now we just troll for fish. There's a net by the tackle box that we'll use if we get some big action for a lot once. All depends on who likes my bait and not.
So tell us about yourself. Were you always a fisherman?
Past 10 years or so. Did different work back then. Didn't suit me like the fresh air and the salty sea does. People gotta work at what's right for them.
What was the job you left?
Thought you didn't too like talking about the past.
No, he does. And it's only bad with the rabbit when it's about our past, not anybody else's.
Oh no, I just like fishing lines we cast past and get tangled up.
I doubt it. We'd remember if we'd met you.
So there we have it, new topic.
Tell us some grandiose fishing tales. What's the biggest catch you've ever pulled in?
Goliath hackfished once. Beluga sturgeon, cods, and guards. A Chinook salmon out west. Any of this means anything to you?
Like another language.
I do, okay. Here's my point. And wait till we catch some hungry fellas. Then you get the chance to gut them and fillet them and throw them in those plastic bags I have. I got markers and labels we stick on the bags so there's no confusing the customers in the docks. They're a finicky lot. They want them straight off the boat.
I guess we're your catch of the day, huh?
Not till you caught something you ain't. Right now you're just temps. We'll see if the first day turns into day 2.
We've had problems holding down jobs in the past 10 years.
Careful, the rabbit.
I wasn't talking about that place. I meant afterwards.
Invisible hate rabbits particular about what they spit poison on you for, huh?
It's no joke. I can see 'em, feel 'em, even if nobody else can.
That's just certified mental illness. Out here, the fresh air and blue sky is hard to be crazy.
I would think that all this waiting around for something to bite would drive a man bonkers.
Only if these are the impatient kind and they don't last long. You gotta be zen about this. Wishing the fish would bite faster, but it all will make it come true. You gotta be meditative.
I guess I was never good at waiting around for things. I always needed a walk.
That when you started sniffing other people's mailboxes, walks you took?
Yeah, started with only ours, but then I got this compulsion. Makes no sense, but it calms me down.
Rash has kicked a lot of bad habits, but not the mailbox one.
What do they smell like, the mailboxes?
Metal or plastic on the surface, but there's always layers underneath that only I can smell. The smell of paper, the sweat from the mailman's fingers, scented birthday or Valentine's Day envelopes, the scent of demands and gifts and worthlessness, the rare foreign postcard carrying scents across oceans, the sticky glue behind the stamps, and it's all there if you breathe deep enough.
Sounds all man-made to me. I prefer natural high. You two night critters smoke?
I get a little weird on weed. My meds.
Just gotta keep the line in the water. Marionette here can spark us up. Check on my top level of the tackle box.
Sure. Why not?
Marionette opens the tackle box and finds a plastic baggie with a few tightly rolled joints and a lighter. She lights up and inhales. She passes the grill pisser who motions to Rash. Rash follows her unspoken orders and smokes. Then he passes the joint to grill pisser who smokes like a champ.
This is one way to get zen meditative, Cousin Rash.
Oh, that hit me fast.
Do some more. The boat feels nice rocking back and forth.
They all smoke more, passing the joint around. Rash feels the tug on his line.
I think I got a fish on the line.
Reel her in before you lose her, Rashy boy.
Rash starts reeling in the line, but ends up with nothing.
My mermaid got away.
Amateur.
Nothing's tugged on your line, nasty cow.
Don't yell, you scare the fish away, Cousin Rash. That's fishing logic 101.
Logic isn't Cousin Rash's strong point. No logical man sniffs mailboxes or holds up on the past. Unlike him, I live in the present. I'm excited to catch some fish.
Exactly, that's the spirit, Marionette. And the old guys say women can't fish. I bet you prove them wrong.
Marionette grins nastily at Rash. She flips her the bird.
I'm fine. The fish aren't done with me yet.
Good to hear you, buddy. Nobody wants dead weight at sea.
Maybe I'll catch the biggest and most fish. And won't you two be surprised?
It's not a contest.
Everything between us kind of is, I'm afraid.
Then I don't get you two. Your family who seem to care for each other, but all you do is nitpick. Why aren't you trying out separate jobs instead?
We're the can't be together, can't be apart type.
Then yet be for me. Just cool it with the slinging arrows, all right? I need you both focused on fishing, not fighting.
What do you do on your days when you're not catching?
Those are the dark days when I spend my last few bucks at a seafront bar, railing against the difficulty of all, but the next day I'm back at it.
Never a day off?
This is my livelihood. If I don't catch and sell, I don't pay my rent or eat. No choice but to fish. Better than any other work I've done before. I'll tell you that much.
What was the worst job you had before this?
Hey, maybe I'm feeling some poisonous rabbit spit too, huh? Cool with those questions.
It's natural to want to get to know you. Rash and I don't meet many new people. Can't say we have any friends, and we're not close to anyone in our family.
They're either dead or institutionalized.
Marionette jerks and hisses as if she's been burned.
That one was my fault.
The fishing life suits loners. I had a gal way back that I met at one of my old jobs, but when I left and started doing this, she cut the line. She said I wasn't much at the old place, but at least it was a real job. I could have clobbered her for that one. Where do you think people fish come from, huh? Somebody's got to catch it.
She dealt you a low blow.
She thought she was the only siren in my life, but Lady C won out.
What was her name?
Georgette.
We knew a Georgette back at...
Marionette reaches over and punches Rash's arm. The boat rocks more.
Watch your damn lines and stop this foolishness.
Sorry, that name brought back memories.
We can try choosing not to remember Rash. Got it?
Fine, I'm a blank slate. Born of the damn sea, like Venus rising from the surf. Happy.
That's better.
You'll both cheer up when you get your first catch. It's an exhilarating feeling.
I've always longed for exhilarating feelings. We never really had the chance to do much.
Life is what you make it.
Grill Pisser Jones's line starts tugging and shaking.
A fish?
Here we go, now the day has started.
Grill Pisser Jones struggles but reels in a big fish, obviously on stage, and fish will be fake, so the shaky movements must come from the actors. The fish gets reeled in and lands on the boat's floor. Cousin Rash immediately unhooks the fish and sniffs deeply into the mouth with both nostrils. Marionette laughs. Grill Pisser Jones grabs at his fish.
I don't even want to see that with the fish you catch, let alone ones I do. Put the damn thing in the bucket.
Cousin Rash drops the fish in the plastic bucket and turns away in shame. Marionette pats him on the back.
It's all right.
I didn't hurt the fish.
It's all right. We know there are no mailboxes out at sea.
Didn't hurt the fish.
No, you didn't, but that was weird and it was my catch, and the first catch of the day. I'm a superstitious man, Cousin Rash. I don't know what bizarre vibe you set upon us for today. My livelihood is not a substitute for your fucking mailbox kink. You got that?
The mailboxes aren't a kinky thing or a fetish.
It's a compulsion, like him in the shoebox.
And you...
And you with the invisible poison rabbit. Christ on a stick.
Oh, no, that's a psychotic delusion. I don't have compulsions.
I swore if after an old job of mine I wouldn't deal with crazy people again. I don't know if we're a good mix.
I won't sniff the fish mouths anymore, okay? Fuck.
Not being able to sniff mailboxes for Rash is worse than smokers trying to quit cigarettes. You gotta understand.
Just tend to your lines. The sucker wasn't the only fish around here. There's some more, I'm certain of it.
I bet if you threw the shoebox overboard, my rabbit would disappear.
You can't be serious. Those photos of our moms as mermaids are all we have left of them.
You can't take care of yourself, Rash. Am I supposed to live with the evil rabbit till the day I die? Is that fair?
But it's fair to ask me to throw away the last images of our mothers.
Who says I'm asking? We wouldn't even be on this boat earning money if I hadn't pushed us to talk to Grill Pisser.
Neither of you have earned a cent yet. You haven't caught any fish, and what I've caught won't get enough money to maybe buy myself dinner at best. We're going to be here all day, knuckleheads.
Come on, Rash. They told you this at the hospital. Let go of the past.
Marionette jerks and hisses as she's been burned.
Hospital? What hospital? Was Rash locked up in a loony bin?
Oh, we both were. A while for teenagers. After our moms died, we couldn't cope, and there was nobody in the family to help us out. Rash was serious when he said most of them were locked up or dead.
The more I learn, the more I think this trial day was a mistake.
The fucking fish will take the fucking bait or not. Or no matter who's holding the line.
Watch your mouth with me, sonny boy. I'm not one for cursing.
Marionette, can you ask me to give up the mailboxes and the shoebox all on the same day? Please.
Think of how free we'll both be. Those photos aren't helping us move forward in life. We still have our memories. And wouldn't you rather our moms happy at home with us kids, not pictures of them at the place they died? Come on, Rash.
I need to think it over. Maybe if we caught something by now, I'd feel better.
A fish tugs on Rash's line. He's overjoyed. He reels in a big fish like the one Grill Pisser Jones caught. Marionette whoops in delight. Rash reels it in and throws it in the bucket.
I didn't even sniff its mouth. See what you're capable of, cousin?
Good job, boy.
There's a tug on Marionette's line. Excitedly, she reels in a big fish and throws it in the bucket.
Ah, who says women can't fish, huh?
A lot of people, but not me. Good job, Marionette. You both started earning some money, I'm sure of it.
Marionette steadies her fishing pole and picks up the shoebox. Rash tenses and whines.
The fish were a sign, Rash. This is your moment to cut ties with the past and start a new life.
As fisher people?
As a lot of things. We can earn some money doing this, then we head out west, see other parts of the country.
Rash grabs the shoebox back from Marionette and shoves it between his feet.
Nope, I'm not ready yet. Besides, with the way I look, all covered in spots and like rashes, why would employers out west be any different than the ones here on the eastern seaboard?
Well, Grill Pisser hired us. Isn't that a sign things can change for the better?
He only did that because nobody else wanted the job. These waters are rocky. We could drown.
No one's drowning on my watch.
The momentum is drifting away, Rash. Now is the perfect time to toss the shoebox. Get rid of my rabbit for me. Think of all I've done for you. I've kept us alive for 10 years, always fed, always a roof over our heads somewhere. You're being selfish.
But there are mothers.
They're photographs, images, not the real thing. Didn't anything the doctors say 10 years ago sink into that head of yours?
What hospital?
Besides Bedside Manor in Baltimore, the youth ward.
Marionette jerks and hisses as she's been burned.
That can't be. All the way up north here? From Baltimore? We're fishing off the coast of Massachusetts.
We know where we are, Grill Pisser.
And why can't that be? You think I'm making up the hospital's name?
You both were about 10 years ago, the under-18 ward?
After our mothers were killed in the mermaid tank, yes.
Have you heard of Bedside Manor, Grill Pisser?
We shouldn't get into this. That rabbit of yours is going to have a saliva fit all over you.
Did you work there at the hospital?
You said you've been a fisherman for 10 years. What did you do before this?
The boat rocks strongly. The three hold onto their poles and the sides of the boat. The sound of thunder can be heard. The sky darkens.
I worked there, all right? I was an orderly.
Which ward?
And when?
The youth ward, and I left 10 years ago, when you did.
You remember us. We knew each other?
I didn't until now. The idea is so unbelievable. The rashes and the invisible rabbit and the shoebox of you being cousins. It's all coming back to me now. How the hell can I have run up to you here 10 years later in Massachusetts?
Why don't we remember you?
Do you know how much electroshock you two kids got back then? You were always getting zapped. You didn't last long enough to know us orderlies by name before the doctors were zapping your heads again.
The boat rocking gets worse. The sound of thunder gets louder.
Yo, this is fucked up.
That hospital was the last safe job I held before I moved away from Baltimore. Took up fishing. Can't believe you two are all grown up and in my boats.
Maybe we should row back to shore. It's gonna storm. It seems like you don't want us on your boat.
You're right, I don't. It's nothing personal, but that was a bad place, and I flushed out all the memories of it years ago.
Marionette jerks and hisses as she's been burned.
How can it not be personal? It's about us as people.
You were nothing but nutty vegetables to me. I can't have you as my crew.
And you were just a goddamn orderly, probably cleaning up Rash's shit. So don't get high and mighty on us.
This is my boat. I'm the damn captain.
The boat rocking gets worse. The sound of thunder gets even louder. Rash feels a huge tug on his line.
Another fish. I'm gonna catch another one.
We were orphans, traumatized by the murders of our mothers, not just nutty vegetables. If you had bothered to learn about us, you might have been more caring.
Do you know how much you damn crazy kids were in the hospital ward? They had us running left and right, working to death. I couldn't make it anymore.
How nice for you to be able to leave it all behind. Rash and I weren't afforded that luxury. We've had to live hand to mouth these past 10 years wandering.
This one's huge.
Rash struggles with his fishing pole. Grill Pisser climbs over to him and helps him pull up the line. It starts to rain, a thunderstorm. Marionette seizes the moment, tosses the shoebox over the other side. She jumps in to help pull in the huge tucking creature in the water.
What kind of fish is this?
A gold mine, I hope.
Finally, something emerges from the water and rips a pole from Rash's hand and into the sea. Into the boat thuds Mersa, a mermaid. The three humans scream in fear and move to separate edges of the boat.
Holy shit.
This can't be real.
Looks like you've gotten a mermaid now, Rash.
Rash notices the shoebox is gone. He jumps over the confused mermaid and beats his fist against Marionette. Grill Pisser Jones pulls him off her and holds back his arms.
Forget your damn shoebox, Rash. We have in our boat a real-life mermaid. We're going to be rich.
We must be scaring her. Everybody, calm down.
We're in a storm in the middle of a sea, and you threw away the last vestiges of our mothers. Don't tell me to calm down.
Grill Pisser is right, Rash. This is astounding and amazing, and we'll get money.
Some of the money.
Just don't scare her.
The three calm down despite the storm and stare at Mersa, the mermaid staring at them.
She's beautiful.
A gold mine.
A scared woman. Well, half woman. I'm going to approach her.
Marionette puts out her hand towards Mersa, but the mermaid bares her teeth and growls. Arr! She flops over to the other side of the boat, away from them.
If she's scared of us, why is she staying in the boat?
With the flick of her tail, Mersa knocks the two other fishing poles off of the boat and into the water. She laughs cruelly.
Now what?
Now she's our captive. Get ready to grab those arms.
The lights dim as the storm rages while the three go after Mersa. We see the struggle to grab her and hear her screams as the lights fade to black. The storm sounds fade to silence. End of scene. Scene 2, fishing boat next day. Lights up on a sunny day. The boat rocks left and right. Mersa has her hands bound with fishing wire. Marionette, Cousin Rash, and Grill Pisser Jones devour the food he brought. They try to feed Mersa, but she growls at them. Grrr.
How is she not hungry?
Maybe turkey and cheese sandwiches aren't part of her diet?
We've had enough rest. It's time to row back to shore. I can't believe all my fishing rods are gone.
Feed her the fish we caught yesterday. They're dead now.
Grill Pisser, think of the money you'll make when you sell her to science. And the stories, the press.
All right, feed her the fish.
Rash reaches into the bucket and pulls out one of the big fish. He approaches Mersa. She sniffs the fish, then allows Rash to feed it to her raw.
She likes it.
Of course she does, dummy. She lives in the ocean.
Being out here in the hot sun can't be good for her. We gotta row back.
What's her name? What's your name?
Mersa.
She understands English.
That word could mean anything. You probably sounded all like gobbledygook to her.
I want to sniff her. She's better than a mailbox.
Rash, she will bite your nose off.
Not if I keep feeding her, just you watch.
Rash continues to feed the big fish to Mersa, and he leans in and sniffs her. She edges away, but doesn't fight back.
What's she smell like, nutso?
The ocean and cream. She's stunning.
Her skin is kind of green, sickly looking.
Only if it was on you. That could be her normal color. Her hair is greenish too.
Mersa the mermaid, I like it.
Mersa.
Yes, we know.
Mersa begins flipping her tail around violently and tries to break the bond of the fishing wire.
She's getting restless.
Let's row back, hard.
Oh, Rash and Grillfisher begin rowing in the back in the direction of the docks. Marionette moves closer to Mersa. The two stare at each other.
I wonder if I'm as strange to her as she is to me.
You're strange to a lot of people, Marionette.
That's not what I meant. I mean, our mothers pretended this to be and died for it. And here we are, reconnected with an old orderly from the nut house and a real-life mermaid. All so far away from Baltimore. Isn't this just wild?
Did the rabbits sting you then?
Nope. They're gone with the photos.
I'm not even mad about that anymore. Not with Mersa here.
Mersa.
That could mean free me in mermaid talk. Too bad, sweetheart. You're about to get famous.
I wonder what her life is like underwater. Does she have friends? A boyfriend? Children? Where do they live? How come no one's ever caught a mermaid until us and now?
Just be glad that she isn't dying off like those fish in the bucket.
We should splash her with some seawater. Keep her moist.
Marionette reaches over the edge of the boat to gather some seawater when suddenly Mersa knocks her overboard with her tail. Growling, grrr, she flops herself overboard and disappears. Marionette bobs up for a second.
Help! She's got my foot! She's got out of the restraints!
Marionette is tugged underwater and disappears.
Cousin!
Look for her. Can you swim?
No, can you?
Grillfisher jumps into the water and is gone for a minute while Rash panics in the boat. Grillfisher emerges and climbs back in wet.
They're gone. I can't see anything in the dark water. I'm sorry, Rash.
My cousin is drowned and kidnapped by a mermaid, probably being devoured like sushi.
And these two fish left are starting to stink. We'll make so much money, if at all, on them. Gotta get back to shore.
What happens now? Marionette always took care of me.
I've got no equipment to work with and no money to buy it with. I can't help you out, Rash. I don't even know if we'll make the money's rent.
I'll be homeless and starving.
I'm sorry, Rash.
I can't do this without Marionette. Goodbye, girl pisser.
Life has given you a raw deal, kid. Just go to deep sleep down there.
Rash jumps overboard into the water and drowns. Grillfisher Jones rows back to shore silently. We hear seagulls and boats, lights fade to black, sounds fade to silence. The end.
Dark.
Oof. You took a hard left turn.
Right? I kind of want the lady who eats teeth back.
Alright, well, that is our show.
Oh, thank you guys. And it happens monthly, so join us again in June. Oh my gosh, it's almost June. So it'll be at the end of June.
Yep.
Last Thursday of the month. Yay.
Sit there.